It is that time for my response to a tweet. It's my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, I guess it's a continuation from yesterday. This is a pretty good one. It says, now that you got us on what the problem is with our children, let's bring back prayer and corporal punishment in schools. Now that you got us on the problem with our children, let's bring back prayer and corporal punishment in schools. Wow. Woo, here we go. Good one. Here's my response. No. Absolutely no. No. And here's why. Because we're past that now. See, if you bring back prayer into schools, then you got to bring back all prayers. And then now, instead of math, history, science, English, reading, and things like this, where half of the school schedule is just dealing with every kind of prayer. And then you don't know which kind of prayer you're bringing in. What if satanic people want to pray? See, our Constitution affords for all those things. So, no, bringing prayer back in, we're past that. We're so past that. And it'll be a major distraction. That will be the new shiny object in the schools to get everybody off focus of what they need to be focused on. So no, prayer, I totally understand. As a matter of fact, I agree. I'm a Christian. But prayer in school, we're past that. Second, corporal punishment. Unless we're prepared for the carnage of school shootings and retaliations in schools, we're past corporal punishment now. These children, they come back and shoot their teachers because they gave them a bad grade. They come back and shoot their teachers because they're not allowed to go to the movies, or they got in trouble at home because they keep talking out. See, like I said, the 5 levels of protecting themselves, those are already violated. So bringing back corporal punishment, if you think they're shooting teachers now over some stuff like this, imagine what these young men and women will do once they're bent over, put your elbows in the chair, and they get swatted. Not going to happen. And the parents are so far gone for that to happen. The parents are probably sometimes more childish than the children when it comes to disciplining their children, even verbally, let alone with corporal punishment. So we're so far past that. We're past that. So bringing those things back in, no. There'll be shiny objects in the room that distract us from the big picture. And so what can we do outside of prayer and corporal punishment in schools? Look at it. I like to look at it from this standpoint. The problem is liberalism. And liberalism is kind of interesting. What liberalism does is the solution to liberalism, because that's what the problem is. We can't pray in school because of liberalism, and we can't punish our children in school, corporal punishment like we used to have when we were young, because of liberalism. And so liberalism is the key denominator here in all this foolishness, all this destruction of America. And so the key to beating liberalism is, we like to call it the 4CLE. 4 C's and the LE. See, liberalism, what it focuses on the most is where you can destroy it. Where liberalism focuses on the most, so that liberalism can take over, is where its destruction lies. This is why it focuses on these things. And what that focus is the 4 C's and the LE. So I call it 4CLE. And some people might say 4 Cleveland. No, it's not 4 Cleveland. It's 4 C's and the LE. And the first C is the Constitution. The second C is capitalism, then conservatism, then Christianity, then law enforcement. See, those are the areas that liberalism is trying to destroy the most. Why? Because those are the areas that can stop them. That's where our solution lies. In our Constitution, capitalism, conservatism, Christianity, and law enforcement. And so what liberalism is doing, let's take the Constitution, it's trying to shred the Constitution because it knows it's a protection. It says we the people. Liberalism is based on getting the people to be for the government, or the government over the people. So if our Constitution is we the people, then liberalism can't have we the people and still survive. We'll stop it. And that's why our children are under attack and this and that. That's why all the divisions in families and all these kind of things, because liberalism. Division between black and white, division between male and female, division between husband and wife, division. They create all these divisions, and our Constitution provides protection so that none of those things get out of control. So liberalism is trying to shred the Constitution. Second C, capitalism. Capitalism is under attack with liberalism. Because why? Because when people are economically empowered off of their own work, remember Obama said, you didn't build that? Well, see, that's the thing. That's part of that division. And so when people are capitalistically endowed, then they can't let somebody run them. Then the government needs to be subservient to their tax dollars versus the government taking all their tax dollars. The capitalism thing is something that's under major attack by liberals. The third thing, conservatism. See, conservatism brings principles, and it takes all these things and takes morals and values and intertwines these things together. And then it's that thing that just makes liberalism is just butt back crazy because of conservatism. It's like the Lex Luthor to their Superman. You know, we're the Superman and they're the Lex Luthor, and conservatism is that thing that gives, it's like that sun that gives Superman power and strength. And it's conservative principles. Morals and values, conservative ones. Not Republican, or, I mean, first of all, that's two different things. But the point is conservative principles. The fourth thing is Christianity. This is why Christianity is under attack. Because Christianity, when you have capitalism and Christianity together, then you have a moral and a charitable understanding with the money that you make. And there's a humbleness even though you're making a god-awful lot of money. And Christianity, on the other end of the spectrum of capitalism, where poverty lies, where poor people are, poor people, they can still strive to be rich, but they understand their poorness better from a God-Christian principle. They don't look at themselves as beneath somebody, or they don't look at themselves as the downtrodden and things like this, because Christianity has a perspective that God loves when it comes to the poor people, and they have a different kind of strength. Poor people have a different kind of strength when it comes to capitalism or being poor, because of Christianity. And liberalism can't have poor people with that different kind of strength. They can't have it. It needs these poor people to rise up against the rich people. It needs them to relinquish their power. So that's why Christianity is so under attack by liberals. That's why they're ushering in Sharia and Islam and things like this. That's why they're not batting an eye when Christians are getting their heads cut off, because it is a solution to their liberalism. And we are a Judeo-Christian country. We are a Judeo-Christian nation. And the last one, the LE, law enforcement. This is that one that's out front now. See, law enforcement can stop liberalism, because that is our level of accountability. That's where the Xing of corporal punishment as individuals, there's still a level of physical accountability. Losing of your freedom, being accosted by the police, you know, if you're matching strengths, matching wits and things like this. Law enforcement is the last level of physical accountability that we have in a nation of laws. And liberalism needs to have lawlessness. And so law enforcement is under major attack by liberalism. And that's what's happening right now. They're trying to make you think law enforcement is wicked, and they're trying to blanket the whole law enforcement field, that they're beating your children. Look at what they're doing. Look at, they're just shooting these black unarmed, not innocent, but shooting these unarmed people that are criminals, being held accountable for their actions, being sought out because of their actions, being profiled because of the actions of others to make sure that they can protect and serve your community. And liberalism is coming and trying to abolish or get in between, or more so disband all these things, because these 4 C's in the LE is the thing that can put a stop to it. So the solution, since you can't bring back corporal punishment and prayer, the solution is found in your vote. Your votes can fix this, because it's your votes that broke it. If we would have never let liberalism show us the shiny object, and if we never would have let liberalism get us to vote for it, don't forget, we voted for the environment not to whoop our children on every level. We voted and made it illegal and all these kind of things, consequences and repercussions for discipline. A Judeo-Christian principle that is paramount, because he says if you spare the rod, you spoil the child, and look at where we're at right now. Liberalism can be defeated with our votes. And this is why we must vote conservative. We must vote for the Constitution. We must vote to protect our speech, our religion. And we definitely have to protect our law enforcement while we go through all these things to get our country back on track. Your votes, people. That's the solution to liberalism. Hey, that's my response to a tweet. I'm Phil Williams, and this is the Phil Williams Show.